Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about today. Breaking news: Caesar's Palace Dubai is closing down.
And we've also got the expected date for Ramadan 2024.
We're going to delve into disapproval by Sharjah's ruler of adding English to the Arabic language.
And then we're getting real deep with Sharon Misa, the podcaster that tells real stories around the XB.
Yes, we are. But before we get into all of that, I want to talk to you about a behavior that Shahir does in the office, which I'm totally cool with.
Are you?
Yeah,
you don't sound it.
I'm totally good with it. And so, well, do you want to share? Because I feel like it's an overshare if I go into it.
No, it's fine. I mean, remember on my birthday how you got me a box of deodorants?
Yeah.
Well, I've been making use of them ever since, and I spray deodorant in the office. Turns out that's not appreciated.
Because the smell wafts over, and it's that like...
But would you rather that smell over the latter? I'm saving you here. I'm doing you a favor.
True.
This is a public service.
So what I meant by it is that it's like something that I would usually do in a private space. So I'm totally cool with you doing it, but I just know that I'm not going to spray deodorant in the office because I just think that's for like bathroom.
That's like I could walk 5 meters and just do it there, but I'm choosing to do it in my desk. The noise is really loud. Everyone can smell it. Everyone turns around.
But that's your thing. That's like
my thing.
It's a perk. It's a personality trait. So our question to you is: do you or should you alter your attitude in the office? Should you alter your behavior different from your kind of regular personality?
So
do you have a different personality at work? Basically?
No, I don't. And we asked this on Instagram. Everyone was like, yes. I posted on my story. Everyone said yes. And it's not just like yeah, I do. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't you? I can't hold myself.
You can't let the freak out.
I do. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the state I'm in.
That's why you're special.
I think I'm an anomaly in this whole situation. So for me, I can't hold back from being who I am. And I think that's something I instilled within myself from a very young age. Like, be yourself. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone push you to a corner and not be who you truly are. I think for that reason, I end up spraying deodorants in the office. And this happened in school, by the way, where I had a deodorant can and I was putting a book out and it just rolled out and the teachers and students looked at it and everyone started laughing. Nothing's changed.
Nothing has
like
changed.
15 years ago.
But now you have our support.
It doesn't sound like it though. But back to the whole like work persona thing, I just think that like, for me personally, I can't do that. Like, obviously, you need a sense of professionalism, which I try and still uphold. Like, you don't want to cross some lines. You don't want to be disrespectful. You don't want to big boundaries that people are not comfortable with. So I think like be yourself as much as you like to, but still be respectful the same way you would be outside. You know?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's about changing your entire personality, but maybe it's about like modifying certain behavior traits that you might be used to. So as you said, like professionalism, maybe depending on the type of work environment that you're in, you might change your dress code. If it's a more, maybe you need to cover your shoulders, maybe you need to cover your knees. When I was teaching, that was the case. And when I go outside during the day in Dubai, I'm probably not covering my knees because it's hot. Maybe, and like I said, like, do you want to let the freak out? You know, like you have like specific, you know, on some days of the year, all I want to do is just, maybe I'm going to cry. Maybe I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat ice cream. But I don't go to the office and cry and eat ice cream just because I don't want to put that on other people, because you're in the office to get a job done. Everyone is there for the same reason. You should have the same focus. And then when I don't want to like unleash all of my inner emotions on you guys, because then it then just means the workday just gets sidetracked by that, and that's not really fair to you because you won't get your job done because of me.
Yeah, it gets distracting. It gets to a point where when someone's having like a moment for whatever reason it might be, it could be work related, it could be personal, but over time we spend so much time with each other, right? Realistically, we spend more time throughout the day than we do with our partners or parents or whoever you might be living with or associate yourself with on a daily basis. We spend so much time with each other to the point where you get comfortable, right?
Yeah.
But then you don't want to have a breakdown in front of everyone, and then you're distracted, I'm distracted. I'm looking at you like, what is going on there? You know, it's a whole thing of like, that's where the boundary comes in.
I agree there is, and I just do think that for me, I feel like there should be a level of professionalism in the office that's different to how I act with my friends.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, yes, you can build friendships in the workplace, but at the end of the day, you are colleagues, and that probably should come first.
Yeah.
Obviously, things can change over time, but there should be a sense of professionalism in the workplace.
One thing that I noticed is that, let's say I'm closer to you than I am to Simran, right? I can treat you in a... Sorry, Sim. I can treat you in a certain way, like this is hypothetical. I can treat you in a certain way and we're comfortable treating each other like that.
Yeah.
And Simran would look at it and I might not be as close to Simran and she thinks she can talk to me in that way or like joke with me that way or like want to bond with me that way during the weekend.
And then that's where lines can get blurred because someone might say a phrase that you're comfortable with hearing from your friend but you're not comfortable hearing with. And that's where the lines can get blurred and why a sense of professionalism is better across the board, but we're also human. We are very human and we can't always just keep that level.
Honestly, I try. I really, really try. And I just break character.
So back to the deodorant. No, let's jump into our top story because I hear someone, Noah's asking why is Caesar closing? Caesar's Palace Dubai is closing down and it is our top story of the day. Not the story that you expected to wake up to. It's closing down after 5 years. However, the replacement has already been announced. Banyan Tree Hotel, which is expected to open in November 2023. They are wasting no time.
Literally no time.
Literally no time. Caesars is a hotel that's synonymous with a casino in Las Vegas. However, we're about to herald the new era of Banyan Tree.
So the new Banyan Tree Dubai will feature 179 rooms, including 30 suites, plus a 4-bedroom villa for VIP guests. And of course, it wouldn't be a Banyan Tree without a major focus on spa and wellness. Think of this as a new opening of a Zen retreat with yoga spaces, mini rainforests, a relaxation area, and stunning treatment rooms.
Fancy Dubai Hotel 101. Sadly, this looks like we might be waving goodbye to some of the impeccable restaurants that you guys love in Caesars. Talk about that roast in Hell's Kitchen on a Sunday. Demon Duck, who's of course the helmed by Alvin Young, who we had on the show, who is the ultimate personality. You've got Cove Beach. Oh, I'm sure Cove Beach has to stay open.
She must.
She must.
she has to.
Cove Beach is like a party destination of its own. You've got Neptune, which is an incredible pool there.
I'd see her as a wellness retreat, Cove. Like, it's a relaxation space.
It's a...
It is?
Do you think this this is kind of like, you know, zooming out a little bit, it shows that we as people are going from party to zen? We want to chill a bit more? Or it's just a hotel group
For
changing?
me, the party is a zen. So for me, realistically, what I imagine is like the cacao drinks,
the party is the zen.
No, 100%. That's your unwinding time. For me, it's like everything's organic, everything's vegan. You have to do yoga at 8 a.m. When you say wellness retreat, that's what I think of. Obviously, this is not that, but you want to like the entire experience to encompass like you rebirthing yourself in a way, you know.
But you still want them to keep Cove Beach there.
100%.
So you can yoga AM.
Exactly.
Vegan lunch.
Yes.
Party into the evening.
Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds. The Amit Kushal, excuse me.
Yeah, he's a group CEO of Dubai Holdings and said that this collaboration is an important milestone for our ongoing journey of elevating the rich hospitality landscape in Dubai. I see it, I understand it, and with that, I still want Cove Beach to stay open. Because like Cove Beach is like, it's synonymous to Dubai, you know? Like, you think Dubai, you think Cove Beach. It's very true. You think Nikki Beach, you think Cove Beach, you think all the good stuff. You don't want it to go. If it has to, okay. If you're saying no more, I don't know, Bloody Marys and you have to replace it with cacao drinks, I'll take it. But then at night, I'm going somewhere else, you know?
Fair. Well, there's a TBC hanging over Cove Beach. It looks like the restaurant were connected to Caesar's Palace Dubai, so they will be closing. And it's phenomenal that they already have a new opening announced in November 2023. Banyan Tree Hotel Group will open up as a collaboration with Dubai Holding on Blue Waters Dubai.
That is insane how you said like Caesar Palace is this like party 101 destination, and now we're going to the whole other side of the spectrum. And it's like sound healing, you know, therapy.
Rainforests.
Rainforest.
Treatment rooms, hydrotherapy rooms.
Have you tried it?
No.
Neither. I'd like to. So moving on to our next story, the expected date for Ramadan 2024 is amongst us. So prepare yourself for Ramadan 2024, sorry. Because in just 6 short months, the best month will be upon us, once again bringing us the season of reflection, spiritual growth, and unity.
And according to Ibrahim Al Jarwan, who serves as the chairman of the board of directors for the Emirates Astronomy Society, the crescent moon signifying the commencement of Rabi al-Awwal will be observable on Friday, September 15th at 5:40 a.m. in accordance with UAE time.
On the evening of the same day, the crescent will have aged to 12 hours and 43 minutes old according to astronomical computations. The first day of Rabi al-Awwal is expected to commence on Saturday, September 16th.
So we're going to move on to our next story. We're talking all things the Arabic language and the importance of preserving it, because Sharjah's ruler is on his way to Egypt as he is disapproving of adding English to the Arabic language. We'd love to get your thoughts on this. We have the comments open, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as always, so keep your thoughts on this story coming through. The ruler of Sharjah will be attending a conference in Cairo to discuss Egypt adding English words to the Arabic language. And ultimately, his goal in this trip is to have them rethink their decision to register these words in Arabic. He stressed that the use of foreign words has now become excessive. These words registered 4 years ago have not been standardized.
Certain terms were generated 4 years ago, and some individuals began using them, believing them as part of the language. They have added the word trend, but they haven't standardized it yet. They're simply introducing it. This is an incorrect Arabic term that the people have acquired, and as members of the Arabic Language Academy in Cairo, the demand for foreign words that have been registered to be reconsidered. We do not wish to introduce new foreign terms into Arabic because of the violation that have happened. As of the word trend, His Highness is advocating that it is replaced with mutadawul or qimmat al-tadawul, which translates to most circulated or circulated.
And the ruler concluded the language academies are in charge of revising the words. Some people may be westernized, but this is our unique language, which we are protecting. We reassure and comfort our academy colleagues. So his purpose in this trip is to protect the Arabic language. And you gave me an example before the show of the word trend being used in an Arabic show and how it works.
Yeah, so we have a show, our sister company Smashy, we have a Ramadan show called Trendat Ramadan, which literally translates to Ramadan trends. So certain words, it's not that all of them don't have a meaning in Arabic, but at times they don't. Like, for example, tadawul and qimmat al-tadawul, it doesn't translate to trends. But as a region, like we are a bilingual region as a whole. So for me, the way I grew up, I'm Omani Zanzi. I grew up in the Middle East, but my parents didn't grow up there. So they never grew up speaking Arabic. And a big part of Oman is like that. And it's not just Oman, it's every single different country in the region. So you grow up speaking 2 languages and you bounce from one language to another just because it is part of the way we live now. And it's not about eliminating an entire language or rebranding a different language. It's just about, I think, stepping into the age of today and seeing that everyone comes from different parts, everyone has a different history, and this is like the 10 years from now is going to be standardized regardless. And with like mobile phones, like I was saying this to you earlier, how a lot of people text Arabic words in English. At the same time, you need these letters to be you need certain letters to work, and Arabs use numbers as letters when typing in English. So it is a part of like how we live already. It's just that Egypt are actually taking steps to make it happen.
But is it not important to just preserve the traditional language that you have? I come from probably a traditional perspective, but I grew up in Ireland. Irish was our OG full-time language years and years ago, and it's not anymore, but we have pockets of the country. So it's still on all road signs, but most people grow up speaking English. We have pockets of the country where Irish is really encouraged. We have all Irish schools. It's very similar to here, but I guess it's less spoken, which makes the preserving of the traditional language so much more important because it's such an important part of our culture. Here, it's only 1 or 2 words, But if that continues over time, you don't want your traditional language to become diluted. I don't think.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think we're so lucky to have Irish as a language. My favorite thing is when I meet someone abroad, you're both able to speak Irish, and then you can speak Irish in front of other people, and they have no idea what you're saying. It's like the best thing ever. So why would we, why would we dilute it? The most important thing is to, keep your history alive if possible. Yeah. And I do understand that people grow up when you grow up bilingually, you're jumping between two languages, so it becomes more difficult. So I can't really speak about Arabic as a whole, but I just know that preserving Irish is really important to me, and I think it's great that people in our country try to preserve it. So I would say the same thing for Arabic.
With what you just said about traveling, like, how we just went to Egypt, I would have loved if I was able to speak in Arabic. And obviously we have our different dialects. I'd try, I'd fail, but they'd always be, like, this is where the English language comes in, because I was able to say things to them in English, and they obviously speak English as well, but they were able to interpret it with the Arabic words I was saying. So I don't think in any way it's about diluting it. As a region, we care so much for our culture anyway, to where we'll make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. But I think, I think it's just about stepping into the world of today.
I agree, and it will be really interesting to see the result of this. But the Sharjah ruler is on the way to Cairo to discuss the topic. Speaking of discussions, we're about to be joined by Sharon Missa, who is a podcast host of Let's Talk DXB. She's telling real conversations with real people, and she'll be with us right after this very short break. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, real conversations with real people. Our guest today has taken 14 years of experience in the industry, and she's bringing it to her podcast. She's the host of Let's Talk DXB, a podcast that looks past the glitz and glam of the city, and it's based on real, raw and unfiltered stories of the people of Dubai. Welcome to the show, Sharon.
Thank you. Wow, what an intro. Thank you so much.
Well, Shahir wrote it. Thank you, Shahir.
Good work, Shahir. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you for having me.
Really.
I'm such a fan of Lovin Dubai. You actually saved my life. I feel like I've got something to add to the WhatsApp chats because every morning I'm like, what's happening in the world? So I can comment on some of the stories that you guys share as well. So you do great jobs. Thank you.
I like that you're on brand. Thank you so much.
I was waiting for someone to comment on brand. Yeah, a marketeer. So
thank you.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. 14 years in the media industry, right?
Yeah.
And now you have your own podcast.
Yes.
People are loving it.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Oh, yeah, from a very vulnerable space, actually. So, like you said, I've been 14 years in communications and marketing. And I started Let's Talk DXB, actually, from a place of self-healing. So recently got divorced in Dubai. So 10 great years in Dubai, family unit. And then I find myself filing for divorce, and I'm divorced in 6 weeks in the UAE. So it happened very fast, and I have a small son. And I think during that process, it was that wake-up call to say, this can't be it. There must be more to it. There must be so many other people that are facing actually just real life in Dubai. It's a great space, and it's glitz and glam and shiny. But what happens when the reality of life hits, and where's your community and support? So it started from a very authentic place, and it's just grown, and the content has grown in that way as well. Yeah.
Wow. So what type of topics are you going to tackle on the podcast?
Yes, I've got so many. So, the basis of Let's Talk, it's definitely around open dialogue. So open and honest discussions. It's knowledge-based, so very educational as well. And I've had some amazing professionals on there. And it's community. So the topic so far, I put myself in the hot seat, and I talk about divorce in the UAE. But actually underneath that, I'm sitting in front of my divorce lawyer, and we're unpacking what it's like to get divorced in 6 weeks and how you actually cope after divorce. I've done a topic with an amazing lady, Madeline Mendy, and we talk about cheating. So if you go onto my Instagram, the statements are very bold, but intentionally. Again, if you sit and listen to it, we're talking about, yes, infidelity, the emotional impact of infidelity. And this is a very senior partner that has probably done a lot of the divorces in the UAE, unfortunately, and the legal implications of divorce. Another topic that's actually launched about a week ago, it's called Broke in Dubai. And I use that in terms of financial brokenness, but also emotional brokenness. Great guy.
I can relate.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, my plug is to get more people onto the platform. An amazing guy, Eric Fit, and he came to Dubai and had extreme financial difficulties. And he just persevered and manifested what he wanted his life to be. And now is running his own business, is the face of Emirates, is on Times Square, a great model. And it just shows you, in terms of when you're in that very broken place, I know it very well, what you can achieve and where there can be purpose through that as well. Yeah. So yeah, lots of topics.
You're introducing all these people with different walks of lives, right? Like different struggles, different stories, different journeys. How do you find them? Because you needed someone to speak to at the time, right?
Correct.
Which is why you started it.
Yes.
So how are you finding all these people that probably don't have anyone to talk to?
Yeah, do you know what? And I think that's, I'm a Christian, so I always rely on my faith here. And I think literally God has helped me to do this. When I went live with my first episode, Divorce in Dubai, I posted it at midnight. My hands were shaking. And I said, God, if this is where we're going, you need to just guide me and bring the community together. And literally, I've reached out to very busy people, and they've given me their time, or they've seen the content and they fully understand the objectives of Let's Talk and have asked to be involved. So I've been quite blessed, actually, so far to be able to get the right people to help educate others as well in terms of how do you navigate these tough times and the successes as well. Yeah.
And was it, you mentioned your hands were shaking when you shared that first piece. It's so brave, by the way, because my question was really like, haven't spoken about divorce, but you've put yourself on a pedestal in the first. What was that like, and what was it like kind of doing that kind of self-reflection to share with other people?
Yeah, it was super scary. I've been in comms, marketing, content. I'm always part of your production team, behind the scenes. So I'm in legal in terms of the industry, so preparing lawyers to get ready for interviews and videos. Not the easiest crowd. So I've always been on the other side. So then to put myself forward facing and then to talk about something so personal, it was tough, but I'm so grateful that I got the courage to do so, because I've had so many people reach out from it as well. But it's not easy being vulnerable. And I think it's not easy in Dubai being so open and vulnerable as well, because during that year, probably today, whoever's listening, some people don't even still know I'm divorced, and my situation. I hid it a lot. And, a lot of the conversation was like, oh, what brunches are you going to on the weekend? And I'm like, I'm navigating being a single mum, but I'm putting on a face like everything's fine. So I've learned the value of authenticity and just owning it and kind of accepting the reality. And actually from doing it, so many people are facing a lot, good and bad. I don't think these are just Dubai challenges, but we don't have open spaces to talk about this dialogue, and also in a quite authentic and educational way as well. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's one thing for you to, gather up the courage and put yourself in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Like, why you're doing it. You're doing it for a good cause.
Yes.
You want people to feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
But when you have all these guests come on, how do you convince them to take all their, different faces down and just open up?
Yeah, I think through my experience, like I said, I've been working with lawyers for over 10 years. So bringing a lawyer, to show the more human side, to then talk about topics and feel relaxed. So I've been quite fortunate that I'm able to conversate and make people feel quite comfortable in a safe space. And I think because I always articulate, the objective of Let's Talk, if you're willing to come on, I would appreciate the vulnerability and the honesty and anything that you can give to the community where they can learn. And it's just really aligned. I've had people that are willing to really talk about the vulnerable spaces and the successes. And I think I've been able to, hopefully they'd agree, make them feel comfortable to have these conversations as well. Yeah.
So interesting, because you said that there isn't really a space to talk about these particular topics, and you've created it. So are you allowing the community to kind of join the conversation? And if so, what has the response been like?
Yes, yeah. To be honest, I'm a one-man band, so I'm rolling solo at the moment, but I've had so much response about how can we take this outside of the studio? How can we connect in a safe space in person? How can we conversate a lot more? And that's definitely a goal of where I want to elevate the Let's Talk DXB brand and have it well structured and resourced to be able to do so, because I'm overwhelmed by how many people actually do want to share. Yeah, they're willing to share, they're willing to connect with faces and people that are going through similar things. So for now, what I'm trying to do is at least kind of build a community where we can chat and talk, and hopefully take that a bit further and be supported and have the resources to do so. Yeah.
So right now, though, where does that happen? Like, are people DMing you? Or?
Yes. So in the DMs, so Instagram, I've got a really strong kind of community and following on TikTok, actually. So there's daily conversations about things that are happening, topics, and obviously YouTube as well, which is where I post most of the content. But yeah, I'm finding via the various different social platforms that there are conversations that are happening within the small groups, which is fantastic.
That's amazing. Do you have a specific story that hit too close to you and you're like, during the interview, you're just thinking of how it resonates with you?
Oh, yeah.
Or does it happen with everyone at the same time?
To be honest, I've been so blessed that if you watch my facial expressions, because a lot of the time I have a briefing call, I'll put together a brief, but I'm meeting them for the first time. So a lot of the times I'm hearing, their story in person for the first time. So my expressions kind of show how shocked or overwhelmed or grateful I am. One particular topic with Madeline Mendy, so she's a very senior partner, lawyer within the UAE, and we talk about, it wasn't even supposed to go down this route, but we were talking about her career and her upbringing, so it ended up being titled Black in Dubai, and it's very much around diversity and being authentic and embracing who you are fully and taking that in your careers, in your day-to-day. And I was just so inspired by her journey and how real she was actually, and how she brings that into the work she does in law with her clients. So that really touched me. And I'm learning a lot more to kind of fully embrace who I am and, just, show up as Sharon. Yeah.
So interesting that you're having kind of topics and conversations that people haven't really had before.
Yes.
But also one of the things that you said is that you want to do it in kind of a knowledgeable format, so it's constructive.
Correct. Yeah.
And what I think is really interesting, you've mentioned divorce, you've mentioned being broken and being broke, but you're also giving people that information. How do you ensure that you're going to do that in kind of a fair way?
Yeah, I think for me as well, it's also doing my research. So I'm always kind of mindful of the types of people I bring on. Yes, it is about sharing the story, but I talked about the 3 pillars of Let's Talk. So one of them is very much knowledge-based. So I've had professionals like Madeline Mendy. I recently was in the studio recording with one of the most senior employment lawyers, and the topic is being fired in Dubai. But when you unpick that is actually, what are your rights if you feel like there's been discrimination? There's a new anti-discrimination law. How do you navigate that? How do you navigate the emotional part of actually losing your job? Of visas, salaries, maybe your husband's or wife's visas, whatever. whatever that dynamic. And she actually talks through all of that. And what I found, you know, I'm fortunate that I've worked within the legal industry, but it's expensive. If you're an everyday person and you feel like you've been discriminated against, where do you start? And can you afford to take up this type of legal battle if you need to? Or if you're unfortunately facing divorce, how do you go about it and how much does it cost? Yeah. So I've been very intentional to find people that can really support the community for free as well in that way. And I've just been blessed to be able to do that.
Amazing platform, really.
Thank you.
So you still have your day job, right?
Oh, yeah.
And doing this at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
How are you balancing both? Because you're doing everything, right?
Yeah, I'm a solo and a mum. Yeah.
And you're also editing?
Yes, well, I've got actually, I use the production team from Podster. I have to give them a shout out. It's a great studio. So I go through the content and share the edits, initial edits. So they help with the editing, but all of the micro content, research, obviously preparing for the day, it's all on me. How do I manage? Today was a good day. I try and pre-plan as much as possible, but it's hard. I'm in a 9-to-5 busy corporate role. I give myself one day off. I say one day off so I can take myself to a coffee shop, and that Saturday is Let's Talk. So I'll sit there for hours, I'll prepare, I'll edit, I'll research. But I think it also showed that I'm clearly working within a passion. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that. And, you know, I slept at 1 a.m. this morning because I finished work late and I wanted to feel prepared for this. But I'm very passionate about what I'm doing, so I'll make the time. Yeah.
Guys, please take a listen. Let's Talk DXB, a truly valuable platform that might be able to help people through difficult stages in their life. And as you said, it's not there. So it's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
How can people find it? How can people listen? How can people get in touch with you?
Yes. So Instagram, Let's Talk DXB. YouTube, Let's Talk DXB. Also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And TikTok is a growing community, actually. So we're also on TikTok. So please do reach out. Support, collaboration is very important to me. And as I hope to elevate the Let's Talk brands, I hope the DXB community supports me as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Thanks. Guys, a truly valuable platform. We really appreciate your time sharing this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, that is all we have time for on the Lovin Dubai show this morning. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Bye.